What's up, YouTube? Man, it's been a long time since I made a video, but before I begin, I just want to thank each and every person who reached out to me, who watched the previous videos of my experiences moving to Canada as an international student. And man, it's been a journey. You know, I graduated over a year ago, and I just wanted to hop back on and share my experiences. And in this video, I'm just going to talk about three things: life after graduation, finding a job, finding a place to live, and last but not least, just settling down and trying to feel at home, finding a community. And so with that being said, this channel is called A Broad State of Mind, my experiences living in Canada, and I hope you enjoy this video. Stay tuned. So yeah, guys, in my previous videos, I shared how I moved to Canada in 2019 to study at a 2-year technical program, and it's been a journey. I had no idea what I was going to expect. Didn't have any friends or family here, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I moved here with my girlfriend and now my wife. And so I'm just so grateful for her, and I'm grateful that we came here together and we did our best. And we decided to study at Georgian College, which is located in Barrie, Ontario. And honestly, it was a great program. I studied in the computer technician program, network technician, and I had some great teachers, great lecturers. Shout out to everybody up there in Barrie. You know, it's a peaceful city. You know, not much excitement as if you would study in Toronto or one of the major cities, but I think that it was worth it because I was focused. I did very well, and besides that, 2020 came around and I had no idea what to expect when the pandemic started. But for all of you guys who are considering moving to Canada right now, I think things are settling down a bit. But just 2 years ago, it was tough. It was tough navigating virtually. You know, I had to finish my education virtually. The school was shut down, so many services were backed up, but I made it. And I think it was worth it. It made me to become a stronger person. I was able to navigate and to adjust to this new way of life. And when I graduated, I was kind of disappointed. We didn't have a ceremony, you know, what I expected. I got my diploma in the mail, and I just decided, you know, I'm still going to take a picture and still going to celebrate. And so for all of you who are considering moving to Canada and you want to go to a technical college, check out Georgian College. It's a great school. You know, most people move to Canada because they want to get permanent residency, they want to become citizens, and they use education as their pathway. And I didn't really have a full understanding of this until I came to Canada and I started to speak to different people. And so for those who are using education as a pathway, I still feel as if you should be fully invested into your education because you're spending thousands of dollars. So make that your first priority. But once you see you're coming down to the end of your education, you need to be looking at the job market, and you need to be really making some decisions on what type of jobs you're going to look for and how your education is going to help you in those interviews. And so what I did was I took full advantage of the student professional services at Georgian College. I got my resume reviewed. I did a mock interview because, you know, I was a little bit more on the mature side. I moved to Canada in my late 20s. I already had some idea of what to expect when you graduate because I graduated from university already. So for those of you who are new or young, you know, I really think you should get your education. That's most important, but also be prepared for life after graduation. And so one way you can do that is apply for jobs maybe in your last semester, like the last month, because sometimes it takes a long time for your resume to get to the top of the pile. And so what I did was I started applying like in November, and I got some calls like in February. So don't wait, because once you graduate, you have about 90 days to apply for a work permit. And once you apply for your work permit, once you submit that application, you're on applied status, meaning that you can work until there's a decision. And that's what happened for me. I applied for jobs, I got a job offer, I already applied for my work permit, and I started working, and I got my work permit like a week or two after I started a job. So in hindsight, I think that's the best advice I can give. You know, just be proactive and don't wait until you graduated and you're just sitting down wondering what's next. Try to be 1 or 2 steps ahead. Second thing that I've experienced since graduating that has been somewhat of a challenge, but something that's really helped me to become a better person, was looking for a place to live. Never in my life I had to really consider where I was going to live next, because like back home in the Bahamas, and I had my parents' house, I had family members, I had a job, and so living somewhere else, it wasn't really something I ever thought about. But moving to Canada and not having any family here or friends, you know, it was the first time I had to look for an apartment. This was during the pandemic. We couldn't even go and view apartments because there were restrictions and lockdowns. So we took a gamble. We saw a basement apartment on this website called Kijiji, and we didn't really have much choice because Georgian College, they shut down, and we were in the student residency hall, and they made us move during the pandemic for whatever reason, and we just needed a place to stay. And so we were racing against the clock. We found a basement apartment, and it was my first time living in a basement. And man, I could make a whole different video about life in a basement apartment for 2 years, pretty much almost 2 years. And you know, it had some pros and cons. And for all of you young folks out there, you know, you're looking for a place to live, I'll highly recommend, you know, finding a roommate, maybe some of your classmates, somebody who you deem responsible, and so you can pool your resources together and find a decent place to live. That's what we did. And for the 2 years, not having a vehicle, being in a basement apartment was on the cheaper side, you know, and also gave us opportunity to build up our credit. But there are some things you need to consider before picking a place to live. You have to ensure that it's a legal dwelling, meaning that the windows are a legal size. I'm not quite sure of the measurements, but definitely you want to make sure that you can get out of that window in case of an emergency. And that's something I didn't know about. Second thing, living in a basement, you know, there's going to be a lot of noise upstairs, especially if the landlords have kids. That was really rough for me. I never experienced that before, and so that's something to consider. And thirdly, if you're living in a basement apartment, like I said, you know, it's not going to be that expensive in comparison to maybe renting a condo or a townhouse, but rent is going up in Canada, and so having a roommate or, you know, finding a great job opportunity, it's going to come down to those things. And so for me, looking back, we made the best out of the basement. A lot of fond memories in there, and if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't have chosen that basement, but it is what it is, man. Sometimes you have to suck it up and just embrace humble beginnings. And now recently we moved to an apartment, a nice building. It's not too bad, and I'm sitting on my balcony right now just enjoying the fresh air. And that's something I didn't get to experience in the basement because it was not a walkout basement, something I didn't know. And so finding a place to live in Canada, it's not the easiest because rent is really high right now, but you know, if you can find someone that you can work with and try to pool your resources, I think you'll be quite fine. Last but not least, starting over and making new friends and meeting new people was very difficult during the pandemic because, you know, we were on lockdowns, social distancing. People are still wearing masks to this day. And, you know, you can't blame them because COVID has taken the lives of so many people. And so I'm really grateful to be alive right now. But I think Canada did a great job with the restrictions. It was tough, but it was necessary because it was wild, man. And I spent 2 years in that basement and didn't really get to go out and socialize. And so I think I missed out on a lot of opportunities. But what I did was I went on meetup.com and I joined some virtual groups. And I've made some very good friends during the pandemic, joining Zoom calls, talking to people, even playing video games, and that's life. You know, life is all about adjusting, and I felt like it has made me a stronger person, communicating with people, meeting people from different walks of life. That's what Canada is all about, because everywhere you go, you're gonna meet somebody different from a different country. And so during the pandemic, it was tough, but right now things are slowly getting back to normal. To all those people considering moving to Canada and you're afraid that you're not gonna know anybody, don't worry about that, because once you're confident in yourself, you can go anywhere and meet people. You know, step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to talk. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because people are interested in your story and where you come from. And so that's what I did, and I've made some amazing friends, you know. I'm just happy that I wasn't afraid to try new things. And speaking about, you know, making friends virtually, that actually helped me out when I was looking for jobs, because all of my job interviews were virtual over Zoom. And so talking on the camera and speaking to people, even making this YouTube video, has helped me not to be nervous. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone, join different groups. If you're a spiritual, religious person, find a church community that you can go to and feel comfortable worshiping, and that's what I did. That's how I've made it so far in Canada. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. A lot of people have asked me and messaged me, so what's next? Are you going to stay in Canada? Are you going to apply for a permanent residency? Honestly, I'm not sure what I want to do, but professionally, I want to get as much experience as possible and for as long as I can, because I've invested my time and my resources in getting the education, so I want to make the most out of it. But I can honestly say that moving to Canada has made me a stronger person. I'm much more confident in myself, and I'm not afraid to try new things and apply for different jobs. And I'm just so happy for the opportunity, because there's so many people around the world would want to be in my position, would want to live in Canada, and I'm grateful. And so whatever challenges I face, I brush it off. I do my best to make the best out of this situation, because some opportunities only come once. And so with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate everybody who reached out to me, and this is not it. I'm going to continue to make videos and share things that I wish I saw before I moved, because it's good to have a perspective or insight on what's going on in a different country before you go there. And so thank you once again for watching this. This is A Broad State of Mind. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook if you have any questions. I'm not an immigration expert, but I can share what I've been through. And so thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more.